So I was having this chat with my friend that I understand that we come from different homes, and different homes mean that we have different cultures in terms of upbringing. I'm sure everyone can agree with that with me. Hi everyone, my name is Teboho, also known as your favorite Moge, and this is Podkasi with Friends. It's for the people and by the people. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share with your friends. And also, for those that are actually watching right now, we're streaming live on Facebook. Don't forget to click that like button. So, leading on to what I was saying just now, it leads on to the topic we're going to be talking about today. So today we're going to be talking about parenting styles. So I understand that like I mentioned, we come from different homes, we have different cultures of upbringing. So I'm going to ask my friends, because I'm not alone at the end of the day, I'm going to ask my friends to quickly introduce themselves and also just let me know on what they understand about the culture of parenting. I'll start from my right. That's my right. Oh my gosh, I felt my nerves. That's why. That's why I felt my nerves. Yeah, so I'll start from my left, going all the way to my right.
Okay, so guys, so when I tried in life, my first time, but I'm here to learn and to hear people's views and yeah.
Come on,
Come on. So what is your modern or your actual understanding in terms of like parenting?
I don't know why, but I understand things from the parent, but I'm not sure if it's related to co-parenting, if I'm not mistaken, but whatever that is a problem.
Oh, okay, this is your boy, the coolest fashion designer. I come from Faith of Angosi. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
And what is your understanding of parenting?
Parenting styles. I think Joe should be just cool and kind of fun. Don't kaya in culture corner. And the problem in parenting styles when it comes to thing about child, especially of parents. I was treating fun of it. I was treating fun. Okay. Ngoba lo yasebenza lo akasebenzi and bakangothi na ngoba lo akasebenzi ngone yakasebenzi ayisipani right ayisipani serious because ngibonile abantu ababhaya families like different families, especially into my family yami nawamanye ama family engabona ngaphandle mangasebenzi bathola ngone ayisipani.
Okay.
And abanye especially abazali ne guys abazali banenkinga nethi ukuthi abafuni admit because sometimes unobuye esikoleni mhlawumbe akalifizanga iphupho lakhe.
Okay.
And afune wena uqhubeke nephupho lakhe.
Oh.
Ngifuna umntana wami ube udoctor ngoba yena uyafuna ukuba udoctor which ezinye izinto azisebenze ngokufana. So yeah.
Okay, hi guys. Nomathamba Sebisi, the vocalist. Yeah, I would say parenting style. Kwamanje ngempole kakhulu. Just enjoying so it's like short. Abazali, I would say they interfere as much as I'm a parent. Yeah, they tend to so yeah, I would say that.
Okay, the philosopher. Okay, so this topic actually for me it's home because by profession I'm a teacher. Come on. So I would say there's a difference between parenting a child and raising a child. Come on. And there's a thin line that we don't understand because raising a child is like but the question is the child being parented? And being a teacher, I can actually see this child is not being parented, but
Okay.
And that's the end of it. But you're not being taught morals, because being parented is parenting actually. It's teaching children morals, you know, and all of those things. So I'll just leave it there for now.
Ubona ke lesikolo Sarus
Zaro.
mina ngakusho nje ukuthi parents should actually learn ukuthi bazi ukuthi lezingane zinengqondo zazo. Bakhona ukwazi ukuthi lo muntu mangimkhulisa phela like you understand ukuthi umntwana kunama stages adlula kuwo. Ngoba seseyibaby makafuna i-attention of some sort actually mhlawumbe akhani okanye yenze something enibonisayo ukuthi kunaleyo challenge, and then baqala ukuba yithohle uyabona ukuthi nawe ingqondo yakho seyaqala develop kuba khona ama-10 times mhlawumbe awenza indicate ukuthi kwenzakala so it shows ukuthi ingqondo yakhe yakhula ne. And then going forward maqala kwa-school age you understand lapho umntwana kusho sekayenza sekaya-explore uhlangana nabanye abantwana seya-explore emhlabeni kusho ukuthi uba nengqondo yakhe developay as an individual reaching i-age yokuthi manje sekayi-teenager uyambona ukuthi ukhela umntana nawo manje sekaba mhlawumbe if ugelo kanjeni uba namamudo kubanjani kusho ukuthi manje sengathi try ukuthi kwesinye isikhathi abe just quiet and all that uyabona because manje usadila ngokuthi there's change, you understand, because that's why kunalama stages, and it's important ukuthi today as going forward so discuss even like going closer ukuthi uyabona mase teenager kula sekazithola yena uyazi-actualize ukuthi okay right now umuntu oso behave ngendlela enje. So as a parent you should understand that and wazi ukuthi udevelopa umuntu omunye unengqondo yakhe ngendlela khona umu-accept ngaleyo ndlela and then try to apathize and then yeah we'll build a good generation, I suppose.
Okay, that's powerful, guys, from everyone. Also, guys, it's not only us. Obviously, it's not only us. We have our Ghostbusters that are here. We've got Jaja here.
Sabuna.
And then we've got Mr. Mal.
Dumelang.
And then we've got our famous top photographer, Lebu. Lebu 69. And then we've got Olazai. And then also, guys, we've been joined by new also guests. I would also like them to actually just introduce themselves quickly.
No, I thought maybe also kind of okay, Sanmona Ninja. I am Dan Lancelot Fisher. I would like to say, Nami, it hits me in the way parenting because I'm a parent myself. One thing enzo yenza mhlambe ngizohluka being a parent myself. I've realized ukuthi sometimes we are being too hard on our parents. Thola ukuthi nabazali bathola le guidance leyo enabayidinga esicabanga ukuthi thina manje sijongile and sikhona ukugijima nayo. I've realized that most parents they have no idea in terms of ukuthi kumele basikhulise kanjani, and mainly that's coming from a fact ukuthi naye azange athole i-chance yokuthi angaba vocal kubazali bakhe because isikhathi nesikhathi siyatshintsha manje sesifundiswa ukuthi sokumele sibe vocal sinama-rights sinalokuya yabona. So we need to understand ukuthi times are changing and most of the things are going to change yabona. So we need to open up a room for each person from both ends, you understand, from a parent umntwana unama-ideas wakhe, umntwana unezinto zakhe afuna ukuzenza, and wena umzali ufuna izinto ozifunayo for umntwana. Sometimes it's a bit unfair ukuthi umfune ukuthi agijime i-career wena ungazange khona nokuthi ufikelele kuyo yabona. But nathi singazenzela ukudlula as we are growing up, we touch it from a place of love ukuthi uzama ukuthi yena into best kuye udoctor akazi ukuthi ukuba i-fashion designer kunemali kancane.
Oh yes.
Uyangaunderstand into ezinjalo. Kuye makayibona uyawabona ubhuti izibanibani akhula naye ukuthi bakathunisa icathulo bakabayenzela amabhruku azange abona imali, but thina sesine-platform enkulu ukuthi ubaba njengoba i-designer angayenzanga yabona ikhulu angakuyenza ngaba some fashion thing abazom-invite kuyo then i-design yakhe seyihambile kanjalo igama lakhe selaziwe Nending Sarana shop in Mall of Africa. As I know, that's more than being a doctor. Yeah. So it's in knowledge. Like sympathize and which is something meaning is as a parent in terms of whatever it is they're from the end. And then what's your dream? Let me support that. Very passionate about it. They say many as a parent, there's a passion, there's something as of to feel passion. You understand? Steps to figure out then the guidance of figure out. I think we are in a better position which is right. But yeah, that's my introduction. I'm sure there's more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Another ghost?
Ghost, Lamako.
What was it too?
Oh, Salmonani. I'm also here to learn. So as I'm sitting here listening, but what I would like to say, I would like to start from before Azozara actually. Sometimes we focus more on especially the guys. Meaning from pregnancy. So as a guy, we should start focusing on that. We help the ladies from pregnancy. Because in terms of nutrition, from and then I would also like to talk about the developmental stages. When you are a parent, you should know in those developmental stages. Because we develop and from baby to toddler to changes. So what I like now is we've got more information now. There's books that talks about parenting. So we should equip ourselves as youth more as the teachers who are telling us development because not the teacher is always now it is the parent, you understand? Because now there's this thing you would see sometimes parents because teachers they are also co-parenting. So now parents should know more about their child and their developmental stages. So but from parents and taking them step by step good developmental stages.
We still have more ghosts. The ghost don't want to ghost.
Lamako.
Okay, this topic we just started and it's
probably.
I don't know whether it's these cultures or it's actually the actual topic. Oh, by the way, we are live at Touche Lounge.
Come on, somebody.
Or Touche Lounge, if I'm right. Yeah, it's Touche Lounge because it's lounging, obviously. So this topic is very, very heated, and what I'd also like to say from my side is that in despite of anything, it's things that I think it's one thing that I'll always emphasize in each and every topic that we talk about. It's in terms of communication. A parent needs to have somewhat of a communication round with their child in order to understand what their child wants. Also with the child, they'll also gauge what the parent wants, and then we'll find a common ground. That's my point. And I like all the points that I heard. And also, yes, when you said our parents back then, they also maybe did not have a chance to actually voice out what they want. But I also believe that it's also in them to say, I don't want to be this parent to my child. So I have a right to actually, when I become a parent, I have a right to shape-shift how my parents actually raised me up or parented me, and also like change it and make my child. But I think this is now the power that we have as the youth of today to change that, to give our children of the future the chance that they want to do. Let them fall down as much as they want to fall down, because as much as you fall down, you also learn something. You're not just gonna fall down because you just wanted to fall down. No one falls down. One of the reasons why we fall down the most is that we are being pushed by our background. I'm being pushed to be a doctor, but also I just want to be a presenter. You see what I mean? So I just want to be a presenter, but I'm pushed by my background. My background says you have to be a doctor. So that when it leads to me now studying drugs, hanging out with people and whatever. And also what someone said that once you start reaching that teenager stage, you meet a lot of people. You meet a lot of people that have different backgrounds also. They teach you how they came from or which background they come from. So that also plays a major role in our lives. I'll give the floor to anyone who wants to ask.
I'd like to ask a question to everyone. Do you guys feel parents are competitive in nature, in general, when it comes to their kids? About jumpies?
Yeah.
Like you mean siblings? From
Parents, you know what I mean? Like parents, so parent to parent,
okay.
being competitive with their kids.
It's really good dog. I am fashion design.
It's like I'm sure sometimes times when I tell you truth, you understand?
Okay.
When someone has pride, I understand. So if you feel you are affected, but if you do something, Baba clearly you might talk about your woman. Yeah. Which are just against the make 1 month and you are one.
So do you feel parents who are not competitive in nature, in a way, raise kids better?
They're more calmer.
Yeah.
Towards how they treat
it's a matter of which I'm not in competition with anyone. I'm not trying to get to point A before whoever gets to point A. I'm running at my own lane, my own pace. So I'm gonna raise my child my own way, my own pace. If he wants to do this, we go this way. If he wants to do that, he goes this way. Because the energy needs to be reciprocated. We need to remember. Once you give me a great energy that makes me happy, I'm gonna be happy. If I'm happy, you are happy. That's what it gets.
Okay. I think I'm going to Amelia.
So let me start by this. I still think umntana is a clean page. Umntana is a clean page, and singabazali, like uSaros washo last, that singabazali siyathela. But also one thing that we need to look at is that as much as I clean page kanje, and as much as umntana bomntwana, they don't always turn out the same. Now that's because of temperament. Abantwana have different temperaments, and that affects how they receive and how they respond to the manner in which you are parenting. So I wouldn't say that umzali ongekho competitive uzenza umntana akhule well balanced, and I wouldn't say umzali ongekho competitive uzenza umntana be well balanced. It all depends on the child, how temperament yabo njani. Because mina ekhaya okay, mntana baka mama msithu, so my sister was very calm, timid, and when I was out there, and same parents, same kind of parenting, but different outcomes. You understand? So it all boils down to temperament. And I would say that also now, on their own, as individuals, they parent differently. There's a book I was reading, but it also speaks about the kind of parenting style. It speaks about umzali authoritarian, nomzali dictator. So now this lady basically breaks down the difference. She speaks about umzali was dictator. Umntana akanavo school. Understand? So makakhuluma kanje ukhuluma kuphela. And some kids turn out very well, but socially they have challenges. And also you find that umzali authoritarian, but he allows the child to respond. And also sometimes I turn out the best, So I think it boils down to that temperament. That's what I have to say about it.
I think there is, I'm gonna say, there's being competitive in a good way, and then there's being competitive in a bad way.
Okay.
I think parents have to understand how their words affect their kids. And then it affects them in such a way that if mhlambe mina ngibone umela umzala ngibone umela uthi okay umela sibasithenga imoto wena solo kusesikolweni or whatever the case may be or whatever that I'm doing or ngiya esikoleni ngaqeda esikoleni ngisahasile ispan and then athi kuwe azongitshela ukuthi umela uthenga imoto. Understand it's like this is putting pressure on me.
Definitely.
Because we are going to put you umzali wakasis Mason and your progressor. So when you need it wrong now. You understand? So like that's certain things that also pushes us to depression because you understand it's like you feeling the pressure which like maybe totally span like now you're coward isn't a deal scale totally span but now this kind of elements and dynamics they push certain kids to depression. Understand? So I think there's been competitive in a good way or in a bad way. In a good way it's whereby since now you did the same thing, or since now you did go to school, just try. It's gonna be okay. Don't put pressure on yourself. That's been competitive in a good way.
Yeah, I was saying to a point today, to faith and community. Obviously, abazali nabo intend to mawusebenza endlini ngobalekile. Voice yakho ibalekile. You understand? That law ongasebenzi. Only to find out ukuthi lo ongasebenzi uyosizayo. But voice yakho ibalekile. So like baya compare. They compare abantwana bomuntu. So into ekhosa ungazwani. Yeah.
Oh. So what did you say? Oh, no, so yazi mina into engirealize the way ngiyayicala ngakho most of the things that you guys are saying, but into engirealize abazali nabazoba competitive bafuna ukuba ngakhona but most of the parents laba abanjalo they ignore ama reflex wabantwana babo ukuthi manje lo mntwana sengembreak. You understand? So most of the time lawo ma parents lawo awayinaki lento leyo ukuthi umntana wakhe sakayihluleka manje and umntana wakhe ngiyamlimaza manje or yonke lento leyo. I'll make an example now. I went to university, I did a course for about 3 years and I realized sengizocela ukuthi kahle kahle lento ngiyithanda. I realized like lento ngiyithanda, I'm not going to enjoy myself. Ngiyaziva ukuthi mina ngikhuluma kakhulu and ngithanda ukukhuluma nabantu. So whatever workspace ekuzomele ngibe kuyo kumele kube a problem solving. La ngizohlala nabantu sikhuluma ukuthi okay siyenzani makunje. And I was doing electrical engineering by that time. Number one, it is me, but we are understanding. So, saying as one, saying my transform, in my mind, it did not make sense. And man was a car, but it doesn't mean they did not understand. I did for 6 months. Support up until I went to this other uncle of mine. Ngifuna ukuyela esikoleni ngiyangithola and ngabuyela ngekhathi sokusondela ukuthi kuzoregister I think ngokuyiviki lakhona this guy waba like no la kimi ngizothi mangibuya kusasa ngizokunikeza something ngathi makabuya kusasa emsebenzini mali ye rent mali yokuregister everything ngachange course today I'm okay abazali the way bangakhona they forget bokuyiba abajabulile ku graduation. You understand? When you get a job bokuyiba abajabulile and manje wena so nani into ukuthi as umntwana so ngizobuyela ngazi point elenziwe ubani or ipoint elenziwe ukuthi sometimes abazali kumele babe nalento yokuthi ikubo yokuthi abayakwazi ukukhulisa umntwana kanjani nathi masikhulu kumele sibe nalento leyo ukuthi ikithi ukuthi mina ngiyazazi ekugcina ukuthi ngifila kanjani ngiyazazi ukuthi yini engistrong way ngiyazazi ukuthi yini engiyifunayo ngiyazazi ukuthi yini ezongenza ukuthi ngifunctione better out there ku society. You understand? And then you start doing this until it's right. So I think any question esizozibuza yona going forward ukuthi how do you bridge that gap? Because mina ngifila ukuthi information is lacking from both ends, truly speaking. Indlela umuntu akhuliswa ngayo nami ngendlela umuntu azama ukukhulisa ngayo nale way ngikhulisa mina truly mina I would say this and with pride mina nale yaboyelela khona ngikhulisela and besiyikhuluma lento le ngasikudala ukuthi ugoba netime la kuhlala phansi ngitshela ukuthi lokhu kwenziwa sona. I've never.
Very rare.
You understand? I've never. uma hambe ngimazi umuntu njani uma hambe ngimazi umuntu strict ngeke ngihlala naye ngaba nama conversation it was after sengisebenza nakhona seyifika lento le mase ucala ukusebenza bakuthatha serious yeah understand so uyaqala manje so uhlala kwamanye ama meeting engifila ukuthi but nami ngumntwana la because lo ulingana nami age ukuthi akasebenzi like lento mina iyenza ukuthi ngifile kahle so mina ngenzani I just contributing yaphuma yabona bona bafuna ukuthi uzohlala la because they feel ukuthi uyawa-eda imali yabona kuleyo whatever thing ekumele yenzeka endlini yabona and wena ulike unalento ukuthi okay nginga-contribute but nina nisase abantu abadala so umzalo umama makashona mina ngale ndlela engingenza ngayo my uncle was not working but ngathi imali mangiyiphethe makumele kuyongcwatshwa lenze zonke izinto nganikeza yena ukuthi okay malume uhlabona ukuthi bamba kanje you understand nawe uyambonisa ukuthi usesewumuntu omdala uyamthola hayi ukuthi njengoba ungasebenzi ukuthi kumele sithathe ukuthi you are useless you are this khona ezinye izinto engana ne-idea ukuthi ngizoyenza nazo uyamthola that was me taking initiative ukuthi angifuni ukukhula in a certain way and ngifuna ukuzibona in a certain way you understand nama-parents nawo kumele abe kanjalo uyangithola mina umntwana ngiyazitshela ukuthi angeke ngize ngimfake i-pressure ngeke ngize there's social norms again abantu abathola i-pressure out of uyangithola ukuthi manje ubani uyaphumelela and again I love such platforms because sisifundisa into eyi-one ukuthi ungazifaki i-pressure ukuthi uba ngiphumelele ngesikhathi esiso ama-time frames wethu awafani you understand lento yokuthi abazali bethu bazasiphusha hambe uyoba udoctor hambe uyoba yini mina mase ngikhulile I've realized ukuthi abadoctor bahoha kuphi uyangithola like ku-tough uyangithola leyo career ayisingale ndlela abantu abecaba ngayo engqondweni yabo unless une-practice you understand like and I've been a mentor of mine told me this waba like uyabona mina engineer yabo mangifika kuma-site zitho ukuthi sihlangana nabantu mangizi-introduce abantu bathi oh you're an engineer oh nice to meet you nani bese umuntu afika athi udoctor oh udoctor wow uyabona nazonke lento lezo and I earn more than udoctor kudlula yini unless loyo doctor une-practice imali ingena njalo njalo understand so yizinto abazali abanganayo information abanganayo ukuthi not whatever it is lo uyifunayo for umntana kufuna ukuthi aphumelele but when idea yakho yokuphumelela ubudoctor
is limited here
you understand and i-idea yomntana yakho yokuphumelela i-CA actual science it's that zonke lezinto lezo ongazicabanga you understand umntana wakho mhlambe ufuna uku-inventa something when ubona endlini uhlala agcwalisa izinto and another thing esiyenza mina ngiyifundile lento le I never chase away umntana or ngimkhuze if yabuzoza ngemateli ini yabona zonke abantwana bafunda so angeke ngize ngimkhuze ngibe I harm yabona ngikhuluma nabantu abadala ngimnikeza attention bantwana ngimtshela ukuthi ngisasenabantu ubuye lokhaya but ngiyamnikeza lento le yakhe akayifuni understand that attention ukuthi ajabule ukuthi wenze something because once you shoot down angeke asala nalento le yokubuya
it's not going to be easy
you understand it's not going to be easy to ubuya
we get you bro
yeah so yeah
especially point yokuthi ugcine soyenza into ungayithandi because mina esikoleni ngithe mangiceda vele matric and ngathola ibhazari and hamba and bengasinto engiyithandayo because lento ebengiyoyifundela into engiyenzayo because I was doing travel management I've got a diploma in travel management ngithe kancane ngedegree ngoba bengekho mina ngisakhula from with fashion designing because the reason why I use fashion design because I grew up without parents. It was not easy for me with ngicele impahla kumele ngilinde bona uyazi lokadala futhi eMpumalanga mina ulinde Christmas so ngiyakunderstand my brother ukuthi I leyo isifaka kwenye pressure line and manje especially masoyenza into oyithandayo makubona ukuthi okay nemali yangena so ngena nama plastic endlini bayabona ukuthi okay kahle umuntu la and that's when bacala ukusupporta ko la masekunemali khona banzi but no asimele ngifake before the meeting iqala ngoba ufake sebayazi ukuthi sekanentonyana which is yeah iko sharp.
And you know what's painful the most, né? What's painful is that when we go to school, citizens and but the very same parents are the one that pushes down when I say I want to do media instead of doing law. You understand? Because Nami personally, I can say and he's cool to see them. As much as my mother was around, but we never had that mother and son relationship. You understand? It was my word is final and my word is final.
Dictating.
Yeah. So after high school, I wanted to do teaching. I was so passionate about teaching and whatever. But the word that I got was, if you go and register for teaching, then you're not gonna stay in my house. That's the word that I got. If you are going to go register for teaching and do teaching. Whereas she was a teacher.
Yeah.
So she takes the experience that she got from teaching and just pushed it out.
Negative notation.
So I waited and did IT. I didn't even finish 3 months. I dropped out. I was still going to school, but I wasn't going to class.
Yeah.
So that's where the damage came in to me, to not be where I saw myself at 25. Where I would be. But I'm so glad that I also got a chance to find myself and actually find what I want to do. Right now, I'm just here doing this job 2 years, 3 years, doing the different experiences. But you know what keeps her happy? Month end.
Yeah.
Month end. Month end. 24 very hi sweetie. Lale kahle. Yazi ngizwile ngathi amanzi ayahamba. Sengiwathini lamanzi. So that kind of relationship, I don't have that kind of relationship, and worse, it's a single parent. So
that was tricky.
Where do you get everything? Like where do you turn to? So that's why I can say I built myself to be the person that I am today. Yes, she's still around, she was around, and I'm grateful that she's still around. But at the end of the day, I parented myself.
So shy.
And my man, people think that I have a fancy life. I don't even have a fancy life. I made that life. I created that life. So yeah, that's just what I saw a hand aside.
Okay. Just to touch, making the ones of careers when you talk about parents trying to lead their children in those careers. So I would say it depends on what the parent, where we be because now about from back then, those careers, especially like teaching. I don't want to touch doctors first. I want to touch teachers, policemen, nurses. Back then, it was a thing for black people. And then it came by they allowed black people who so it comes like that. So now you get it depends on which way you understand? So that I think that's the other reason. If you are not this, then you're not going to get money. Because these are the people who have money and they get the rights. They're not knowing, not taking into consideration among careers. So now that is why it's here dependent on where we are. That is why earlier on mentioned something we are blessed. Because we are still youth and we've got more information. We know a career is not supposed to be something which is paid man. For example, nice example aero engineering. And in that space, there's less black people, there's more whites. Spaceless. Because now when the parents think about aeroplanes, pilots. You see, so in perspective, perspective, parents and see with their eyes and think with their minds. So now the reason why they smile, from your career, it's because now Sarah realized, oh, okay, so we should be you understand? Because so that's why when someone mentioned you understand? So now if Tina as the youth, we get more involved in education. Those parents but to make homework engine. How? Must be supposed to learn at school, not at home. So we're supposed to be more involved.
100%. Okay. Do you guys feel that parents should apologize? Or has anyone had an apology from their parents?
Before see I cannot go touch me. umzali mazoxolisa emntwaneni
Ayiyenzwa leyo nto leyo.
yeah like uyamdelela kahle uyamdelela yeah
Because they know better.
Yeah.
They've been
Dictator.
Dictator, yeah.
So to them, instead of saying mama, baba, iti askis, bona, they've got this thing of why bahlali nami phansi ukhulume kahle ungitshele ukuthi yini oyifunayo yini ongayifuni. Yabo, that's their way of you telling them ukuthi ithi askis. They're not going to say, mama, oh, I'm really sorry, or in a some parents will accept some will not. What you're saying, I'm sorry, I'm going to say I'm a sinner. You know, meaning hide when you mean when you and since you under my roof, whatever I say, you go to do it. You know?
Under my roof.
So apology, it goes with sit down with the parents, talk to them. If I'm a fool, I get like who faith I should come to my like but they now parents
yeah, that's why I'm general. That's why I don't want us to be general. Yes. I understand.
Okay, can I say something? I think when I split with this one, because when I did get an apology from my dad, we all told Sela, leaving my mom, we all told Sela Uti, he didn't know better. We all told Sela Uti, Ugawa Yamalala, he let me in Zonka College. Then Wazama by all means amend the relationship. Yes. Because mom said was it. The time I will drive on the base. But Bagazamo will something every time. Manager would now miss and feel there's no need. It's supporting a tour somewhere. But then go to some effort. And Yana told apology, I can almost say it's a reason. Maso working Riake and Zonka and Abon and Caesar cool, Abon a huge chunk of it. It's coming from me. So I realized with you, okay. Then what one is even before then my mom was very strict, and I have peace with Rachel at the apology, even though I show police because Uga won't tell us something we are realized what because she has nothing. So because of that, why is it put on your and the business most Bagaleta Yunki. Nobana Toshala, who has with whoever Zokuluma Masinia, because I'm less than Yokoros and Zonka. But I was a complainer because I did something. Agabuzu shy. They understand Agabuzu shy. So unexplain on at the later stage. Number one, being humble in crash. If ever back torture, Benzoya, Bozoya now. Ben upon niggas are listening to niggas, egg mailing niggas is on. So every time, Bagazama and Ukvala with Banakulu. Yeah, well, it's okay.
There's a lot of pressure already.
Yeah, well, and the mind, I'm so glad we see I'm wired different because as I'm for love and so because I understood. Except me and I pushed, you know what, I'm saying in the right, and I'm so before. You know, it's unfortunate to you shown before that, but then I didn't put things up and I didn't tell you what my graduation the way she was crying, she was like, then to lay in London, the same way I'm so graduated was 2 or short. You understand my point? So, but that's why I need to apology in my tour. I mean, for my parents, me tata in my tour. Because me, I understand that. I want even the school man, so I'm putting information. That information can change a lot of things. That information will come on equal important. Most of the we told was realize that I can never parent them. I told so. Even though I'm big, I didn't
yeah, you're willing to jump.
I said to jump in there, but I'm not told apology, Mama. I told her, So maybe wabona ukuthi yena wrong and aqolisa njengoba asho class emakhaya ukuthi abazali abanye baqolisa ngempela, and I felt ukuthi there was a genuine apology. So I wanted to just share that with you, that as a legacy.
Do apologies change how you perceive things?
Before we get there, there's another thing that I also realized about parenting, is that parents evolve. Some parents evolve. As much as baboya kuleya era, but they do realize that the times are not the same. What happened was, the first born out. So he was born out of wedlock. I understand? And then comes my sister. So I think they went through a trial and error phase, whereby they learned and they evolved. Okay, this and this and this, and this is the outcome of it. So when it came to me, it was a bit different. They had experience, and they had my sister, So I did get apologies from especially Tamala. My dad was strict. Yeah, he was soft, but he was strict. And as I grew up, I had to understand where it was coming from. It was that, my brother, Ukule Angenai, that father figure, and because of that reason, he was raised in an environment, so there's a lot of things that he picked up that were not conducive to his social life. So now, there's certain things that he would say to him that would affect him. So he saw how it affected him, and he would be able to see, you know what, guy, is all. And because of that, I'm sorry. And I think he also wanted me to realize that as a man, and yeah, he wanted me to do better also. So I don't think that it's wrong. I think it's because we're humans, we're gonna make errors, but we need to learn from those errors and we need to evolve. As much as abazalbe to us, as fun, not to us to them as fun. There's revolutions that happen in between, and they affect the kind of parenting that helps a child to grow in a conducive environment.
However, we need to understand individually I touched on so she was basically homeless. So that's this color nabantu. And when I understand but then later on I she did apologize, although it was tough on her because crying and shaking. Although it was just 2 days. I think it's important for us as a schooler to get help for ourselves. Unfortunately, you will not get an apology. So who they don't even know how to say sorry. My late brother's wife, she's younger than me, but I was instead, but she can't say I'm sorry. But I'm she also, can I point something? Then that's her saying I'm sorry. So I think my rules are work on yourself, get help for yourself, get peace for when and forgive. I was peace against my tolerance. But you just
that's
forgive.
a point.
Ooh, wow. Yeah, that's a good point. So I think as in Zindo, this is check, like really maybe pants, like the basics. The reason why it can be difficult for parents to apologize to us is because we have to understand that some parents, they disregard the emotions of our children. And me being a teacher, I understand like it is so difficult because these kids are broken. They're so broken. The way they are being brought up, it's like literally each and every day of their lives. And that child, the class, do you understand like it's uzoba uzoba rude, uzoba a problem child. So like when it's up to you as a teacher to teach the child the content as a school and to sort of parent the child, because by default I'm a parent to these kids. And me being a parent to these kids, I have to understand which they are from different backgrounds, how they are brought up. Unfortunately, I can't go to them one by one. Now I'm in the system, it's easy. When I address them, I have to understand khona umntwana mhlambe ovuke ekseni umzali ebantwaneni bakiba abancane. Umzali uyamcommanda ukuthi uzobadlisa, uzobagezisa, uzobayisa esikolweni. And in myself, mina yenzeni? Mina esikolweni. Afike late, makafike late mina ngiyenzani? Ngiyamthethisa and rough. So I have to understand, it's okay, why are you late? And this case, they give you a reason, you know. And when you get to listen with your heart, not just to listen with your small ears, you'll get to realize that these kids, they're so broken. So I think that stems from the fact that some parents, they disregard the emotions of abantwana. That is why abanye abantwana bazokhula are broken, bazokhula abanye nge-anger, you know. It's just such dynamics.
kakhulu like la ukhona ukunderstand society vele ezashini bafuna kulapha ezikolweni because ingane vele ziningi endlela yakhona and we cannot run away from the fact ukuthi the socio-economic factors zinomthelela, you understand, in the upbringing yomntwana, you understand. So in basic terms, there are things that we need to consider. Understand? If like now we live in a monetary culture, and we understand. Right, and then now we know what to feel like, and if we are not okay in terms of the finances and stuff, understand? So like I said, certain households should it's broken, and there's no way they can have and do good. It also depends on the character, because you cannot run away. There are kids who can come from settlements are very bad, but that turn out to interact. It's because of there's an inner being. Parents should also look at Umuntu as a person who unengqondo yakhe, unendlela abona ngayo izinto. Hence sikhuluma ngala steps earlier on ukuthi umuntu uyadevelop, and then you realize that okay, I'm this kind of a person and I need this. And then umuntu should believe in will give love, give support. Understand? In the engathile kakhulu. I understand that the child and parent relationship. Ayikho relationship powerful njengale. And it's so unfortunate ukuthi ngathi ayinetheli wonke amakhaya. You understand? And like mina I saw saying ngasho ukuthi mhlambe coming now as the youth, the current youth, especially ababukele abala, you understand? We might not have the powers of transforming the whole world. Come on. But let's try and transform our own cycles. Yes. And try to do into esazi sizoyijabulela ngoba sibona ngaphandle. You understand? The child try and raise a happy child. Go and ask him to do something. Do something, and if you mind their grants, there are some things. Let's not live beyond like I'm expecting life to even too much. Let's live up to our basic and support these kids. You understand? Because they are the ones that matters most. You understand? Because if a 7-year-old so called to that's a great tool, you understand? And we understand that this person is broken only as a child because who's when there's comfort, there's love. You understand? We don't get this guy of faith. Even if we failed with the partners or whoever, mama, being and but let's try and just give in. Give love, give support, peace. That is important, you understand? Because you have to go about whenever when there is something is threatened. But if you know there's a support base. And it doesn't have to be too much of money and everything. But those basics and all that, you understand? Even call it support base, it builds you as a person. Because you have a sense of belonging. You understand? Because I decided, let me go and come to somewhere. Because there's no love. You understand? And the love of faith is not for sale. Having said you need money, 1, 2, 3 party, love is never, love is even powerful.
Okay.
But you need not to have money to actually provide that. You understand? So it's very important as the parents okay, now the society is rotten, but you must come to a solution. You understand? What do we do, Tina? Like, man, let's do better. A little better, something adds into a better generation. You understand? So let's try and do those kind of things. Support our kids. So I understand. You know, it feels bad. Now at some point, my daughter is a teenager now. At some point, but it hit hard. This is not actually even because if we are exposed for social development, school environment, who's born and listen, we are born to understand my dress. Call statement was she attention before busy. That thing pay attention. They need that. They lacking that. The attention as paying attention is good. Let I cover even if you're not 3. You build a better character, then you build a better nation by the time about school age.
What you say, now 100%.
Come on.
Now we figure your input as a father. Singing umfana, mama as well.
Imagine growing up from a strict home and then also you're gay. Yo. No, I'm not saying I'm gay. Just to go back to that apology phase, I actually like what Sunshine said. Sometimes you're not gonna get an apology. I confronted my mom with that. I wanted to do teaching. That I confronted her last year. That's like literally, I think 6 years after I made the decision that I wanted to be a teacher. And I never got an apology. So I was okay. So you understand? So it also comes back to yourself. Would you make peace with yourself that I'm never gonna get this apology? Probably that by the time I get it, she's gonna be on her deathbed, and it's fine. Like, it's fine. I wasn't expecting it. So I think also just to say, we shouldn't have like so much high expectations also, especially at this age, because we are at the age of being parents ourselves. So let's not look back and expect. Yes, it's very hard growing up like without parents, with them being there or not. But it's just so hard growing up without parents. But let's not look back, and then let's just work on changing what's actually happening and make a better future. Like Sarah just said, let's make a better future for the better nation. Wow, that's it.
Oh, okay. Guys, my question for you, like, how do you raise Mutana Ukule and Nabazad? Before like, I just want to share my story, just 2 minutes. I mean, I grew up without parents. I was a number my mom was 21, yeah, I think around then at 25. Like in having level. It's so big. I've never said no.
Okay. So take your time.
Take your time.
But it's in something so. Maybe available for. I don't remember what's going on, but I was somewhere else in Kurva strong. I'm phoning in but it's called Mutozayo. I'm not thinking. I went straight home. And Nkule, Unomto Ankine, Mario Muklo, I need to say into any Nebanese and I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I think.
No, let's have a moment.
No.
It's okay.
It's okay.
This is supposed to happen then.
Yeah.
No, it's supposed to
Okay,
happen.
maybe I'll end it until guys in the shop. Yeah, nami njengoba sikhuluma ngendaba ukuthi umntwana ukhula umntwana ukhulisa abantwana bakini. Nami I was one of those people. But I think lokho mina for me kungenze ngaqina. Ngaba independent engiyona. Ngazitshela ukuthi ngizoyenza izinto zibe different.
Yeah.
My daughter. Kuzoshintsha angifuni yena experience what I've been through. So yena mele athole the best.
Yeah.
And I'm complaining, writing. So yeah, it's like that.
Can I say something? To try and answer the mbuzo of faith, I think it's a sensitive topic for one. Minekaya, my mother, akakhula ngashap, yabo. So now since only lamina khula ngashap, she always had a soft spot from abangena bazali, yabo. So that for her, she's always had that. Yabona mangabe ukhule nami, you'd understand there was always someone younger than me ekhaya. It's either khona unonkululeko or khona usimpiwe or khona abantu, but there was always someone younger than me ekhaya. Yabona. So I'm kind of able to empathize with that whole setup. The car was exposed to that, but there's also a danger in that. What Ekaya did was that they sometimes overcompensated. What I mean by that is, if mina ngizothi ngilambile, Ekaya banginikeza forced life, unonkululeko makalambile bazomgaya 8. And that looks okay, and it supports the child. Child feels warm. But sometimes socially, it also affects us. Mawuphuma ngaphandle, you have that notion yokuthi there's life after my parents, there's support after my parents. But the problem with that is you think the rest of the people understand your situation. They understand your situation. And what that does is that the moment bangak support outside, it affects you. It affects you. So that is why I think it's very tricky when it comes to that. Because you undercompensate, it ruins the child. You overcompensate, it ruins the child. So I think as society, as Kule, in this generation, we know better. We need to try and find a balance between both worlds. When I talk with Umamaga Olerato, I tell her, akakulanga sharp and and sharp. So I'd say I'm balanced there. And with being balanced, I realized that it is important not to overcompensate a child. So as much as Umamaga Olerato wants us to spoil Olerato, but I see the danger with overcompensating, and I don't want my child to be spoiled. Ngaba society, like you said, society is cruel, bafethu. So if we try by all means to protect abantwana, bafethu, we are gonna ruin the child because people from outside do not care. So we need to find a balance, bafethu. We need to find a balance. With that being said, and then Jela, bazosibonga labantwana later.
I wanted to be too personal for some of us. No, they are started to an extent to which no matter to what example. I would say which there are certain people in life who will act loyal to you. You understand? Just because they're in need of you, they want to use you. After using your loyalty, you understand? So when saying ukuthi bakhona ukunisusa ekhuvini ngizekhaya, whereas ukhona umuntu umntwana ongakhona ukuyenza leyo nto leyo, it shows ukuthi loyalty yabo ayikho. They want to use you nje kuphela. You understand? Moving forward, ngayichaza ukuthi thina i-generation yamanje silwa izinto zabantu abadala esingazazi. You understand? Sithwele amacala esingawazi. You understand? There are certain parents out there ukuthi bakhule kanzima back then. You understand? That they used to suffer. So thina abantwana bamanje we are suffering because of that thing. You understand? Thina abazali abasikhulisayo ukhona ukulwa nomzalo wakho, not just because ukuthi ulwa nomzalo wakho because now ile ndlela akhule ngayo. You understand? Ile ndlela akhule ngayo. So now ukhona ukuthi uyocela something akutshela ukuthi mntana manginayo. It's because now yena uzama ukuthi ayeneliseke ngempilo yakhe anayo manje leyangatshonanga back then. You understand? Not realizing ukuthi i-affecta mina as umntanakhe.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
Uzoyirealize after mase ngikhona ukuthi ngilanda umuntu ngimbeke phansi akhona ukuchazela. If only unendlela uyakhona ukulalela. There are certain parents ukuthi they are stubborn. You understand? Umuntu ongakhona ukuboniseka. That's why ukhona ukuthola abanye abantwana baseyitradini, then we blame those children who are out there sithi bona hayi bakhule kamnandi, not knowing ukuthi impilo engiyiphila ekhaya injani. Inkinga ayikho kuwo ntwana, inkinga isekhaya.
It's fine.
So we are actually reaching. I wish we could go and go.
Yeah.
The rest of the night, but because of time, I think everyone's just gonna put in their closing statements, and then we just wrap it up. So I just also want to add on to what he said, but I think it's gonna be a topic for another day. Magati nathi silwa izimpi zabazali.
Come on.
You understand? And remember, it's not even physical only, but it's also spiritual. So if you're not getting your support, at least that least support, not even spiritual support, that least support from your parent, how are you gonna fight her battles? That's the thing. But I think it's a topic for another day. I'll just two lines for everyone so that we can just wrap it up.
2 lines.
Everything else, we are going to have a community tab for this on all social media platforms that we are available, and then we can further discuss this topic. I think this is just an ongoing topic, so we can open a community platform for everyone just to come through and just comment about it. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, I still have